Okay, how's it going, people? If there's any people watching, this is our special guest, Troy Miller. I'm trying to point and everything's backwards. That guy, this guy right here, this Troy Miller. Alright, so as I was saying last week, Troy's my first guest. Say hello, Troy.
Hello, Troy, and hello to Jeff's fans.
Um, we kind of went over questions that we would talk about today, but like I said, he's kind of being my guinea pig as the first guest because I was trying to figure out how to do the technical side of it of how. And honestly, if you can see, the split screen's not really even. Like I'm widescreen and he's tall screen. I don't know. I'll have to figure out that as we go. But for today, it works. It's live. We can see everybody. It's good. So
I'm unable to see Jeff though.
yeah, he can't see me right now because for some reason the camera can't be on the call with him and live streaming me on Streamlabs. So, although if he wanted to go live stream it, he could see me, but then he'd be distracted, so we don't want that. So anyway, Troy is a guy that I've known for how long have we known each other?
Jeff, it's been a while.
It's been probably at least 10 years, more than that
More than
probably.
that, right? More than
Yeah,
that. I've been playing disc golf for 10 years,
yeah.
so
It's been a long time. We're old. We're
15.
old men. We don't keep track of time very well. We just know it's been a long time. But
15.
he's like, I'm not old. Shut up, man.
No, I'm saying 15. I'm thinking 15.
I think that's probably about right. Okay, I actually, I first met you through playing poker at Showdown, and that was like right after I moved back from Massachusetts, which would have been around 2007, probably 2008, something like that. So it's, yeah, over 15 years. We didn't hang out
18
a
years.
whole lot in the beginning, but um, once,
It picked up pace.
huh?
It picked up pace later on.
Yeah, kind of just met him as a casual acquaintance, and this is actually going to be one of our this is one of my questions on the notes, and I'm going to let him fill in his part of it too. But I always remember as like I'd been playing disc golf for a few years, and this is not 2007 8. I think 2009 is when I first got into it. But he was having a birthday party at his house or whatever, and I came to just kind of hang out with the birthday, and I think I bought him a gift. I honestly don't remember. I don't know. But I noticed that somebody gave him a gift. He's opened it, and it's frisbee golf discs, and I was like, you play frisbee golf? And he's like, well, I never have, but they're trying to get me into it, and I'm wanting to try it. And I was like, all right. Um, so yeah,
You remember that way more than I do. I'll say that. Like I do remember, pieces of that. I remember having birthdays, obviously. I don't distinctly remember getting discs. You know what I mean? But I do remember. I'm thinking back. It's been about 10 years of playing golf. I'm pretty sure you were one of the first people I played
yeah.
golf with,
And
actually.
I remember that mainly because during those times it was just a small group of friends that I played with,
Mhm.
and that's it. I mean, I never played a tournament. I never played in a league. I wasn't interested in any of that. I was just wanted. I was like another buddy to go play with because a lot of times, you know, try to get a game together and people just got stuff going on, and I'm like, okay, the more people I know that play, the better chance I have of getting out of the house. So I
Well,
just,
we were weekend warriors. We
yeah,
would try to
exactly.
play once or twice a month, and we were trying to break, double digits, man.
Yeah. Like
Like high double
the idea
digits,
of
like
playing like
16,
under par.
17,
Yeah, the idea of playing under par in those times was not even it wasn't even on the radar.
We were
Um
there having a good time. We were just,
I put on here like when did we first play around together, and I think we talked about this last time. I don't think either one of us actually remembers.
so I don't know the actual date or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure one of my first rounds of disc golf ever was with you.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think
so I would put it somewhere probably around Bear
yep.
Creek, you know,
And if
uh,
y'all if anybody watching that is from DFW, I'm still mourning the loss of Bear Creek.
Yeah.
It was like the best course ever. I loved that course. I actually have a painting on my here. I will show you so you know I'm not making it up. I
It
had
does.
an artist. I commissioned an artist to paint me my favorite hole from Bear Creek. Like I love that course. I want it back.
It, it was a great course.
Yep. And that hole I never aced, but I got close a lot of times. I threw a forehand across the creek and I'd skip it right at the basket and I hit metal a few times. Never got it in, but man, I loved that
I can't,
course.
I can't remember the painting. Are you talking about the one that's over the whole ravine?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
it's kind of you cross the ravine and then it kind of plays off to the right, so it's perfect for my forehand line. So
Beautiful.
I always liked the forehand line holes, of course.
I used to work over there, and I would go play that course night and day,
Yeah.
before lunch, after any time I could.
I remember those days too, because you would text us, be like, "Yeah, I just got a round in during lunch," and I was like, "I wish I lived close enough to play a round during lunch." I mean, I guess the closest I used to do, like when I first started playing for a long time, I was living in Watauga, and I used to play. North Park was kind of close, but Arcadia was even closer. It's like right around the corner from my house. It's a kind of a tough course, but at the time, that was just one I liked to play, and I would run up there after work a lot of times and just play like a loop with like the first, I want to say like 6 or 7 holes, and then go home because it kind of brings you back around to the parking lot. So
Well, let's say there's no way you can call that a short course to play
oh no,
quickly. It's
no, that's a
like
bomber
like
course
five
usually. Yeah.
thousand feet. Right?
And if you play U-disc rules, it's only got like 2 par 4s, but if you play per like the course what's on the signs on there, it's got like
Yeah.
2 par 5s and I think 3 par 4s. So yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now I got a course that's like 5 minutes from my house or less in
Across the
Azle,
street.
and it's all short. I could play that one really quick. Ash
Mm.
Creek. Yeah.
It's like my home course at AC Hotspur.
Yeah. We like to make jokes about that too, because he lives close to Alex Clark and McKinney, and every time someone says AC, like you want to get around, and I'm like, you mean Ash Creek? I'm down.
Yeah.
Like it's not an hour and a half away. Of course, that goes both ways. He's got to go a long way to get out here. When we first started hanging out, he lived in Arlington, and I was living in Watauga, so we were closer. He decided to move to Oklahoma. I don't know why.
Whatever. I'm 45 minutes away from Oklahoma still. I still 45 minutes, a 30 to 45-minute drive to get to
It's a nice
Oklahoma.
house though, and I mean McKinney is a great place for disc golf. I will attest to that. I wish I had like 3 great courses that close to me. I have Ash Creek is a decent course, and then the one we have in Springtown is meh. It's kind of a
Well,
eh.
recently I've found a new group of guys that have made me go north to Sherman and Denison. There's two other,
Didn't we
courses
play?
that
Did we play that one in Sherman?
pecan. It's possible.
No, I haven't played that one. What's the one that we play with your? Well, he don't live next door to you anymore, but your neighbors went with us.
Anna,
I don't
maybe
know.
Anna. Yeah.
What's it called? What's some of the?
Slater Creek.
Yeah, we played Slater.
Yeah, that's Anna.
Yeah, that one was all right. It was confusing. Like the layout was really confusing. That's what I remember
I've
about it.
never been a fan of it.
There's one in Weatherford that has some really cool throws, but like almost every hole has multiple baskets, and it's a lot of like backtracking. Like the layout just doesn't make any sense. And everybody tells me to go. They're like, it's one of the best courses, and I'm like, is it though? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool to have courses that have great throws and cool
Yeah.
looks and everything, but it's like I don't want to be wandering around for 30 minutes extra just trying to figure out what basket to go to next or what basket to throw to once I'm on the tee, you know.
Well, here's our, bid for a sponsor, I suppose. Get UDisc,
Oh
right?
yeah. I
And
mean, and
I
I
know,
use UDisc too, but that's even then sometimes it can be
I
confusing though.
just say, well, true, but
Because UDisc a lot of times will be like, okay, you're on the tee, and I'm like, cool. I'm looking at 4 baskets. Which one do I throw to? um.
oh,
So
when I we were talking about moving out this far though, right?
Hmm.
Part of the reason we had done that move during the COVID time period uh, was because we were starting a family, right?
Hmm.
So with the school out here, we wanted to get ready for that. She was just a baby then, um, so that was a big
Well, didn't
reason for
didn't
our move.
Stacy get a job out in that area too? Wasn't that part of it?
No, I mean, no. She got her. Her job's work from home. You know what I mean? So she didn't really have a location that she was forced out here for. We just loved the house. I mean, she found the home. I told her she was nuts, and then we got it. So
Yeah.
we made it happen. You
Hey,
know what I mean? Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
nice. They're
Yeah,
able
I'm
to.
telling you, I told her from the beginning, there's no way, and I don't see how yet. I'm not gonna give up. It's a nice dream, and I love the dream. And sometimes dreams do come true, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's nice they have a nice like a multi-generational thing. Her father's living there with him too. He got like a whole wing of the house to himself too. It's real nice. So the West Wing.
oh, he's like a 17-year-old, roommate. You know what I mean? We got to cook and do his laundry and clean for him, right? And
He
drive him
earned it.
to his,
He earned it
drive
though.
him to his appointments. And he's earned every minute of it.
Yeah.
He's living the dream, and we have no problem serving him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? None whatsoever.
So we're talking about
I
how
love having him.
we talked about for how we first got into playing like disc
Yeah.
golf in the beginning. Let's talk about how we got into competing in disc golf, because that's we kind of like me and Troy, and I guess Charles was part of it too in the beginning. I would say I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember exactly. I remember I think it was 2021, maybe it was still 2020. I can't remember exactly when that was. I remember we had started getting into it more. For me, it started when I got like UDisc Pro, and then even before we got into PDJ tournaments or anything, I just started going, oh look, I can track how far I can throw. I can set up like a putting practice thing, and I can put all my discs on here that tells me like what I'm kind of missing in my bag and where all these different things fit in my overall balance bag and all this stuff. And it just started kind of learning the game after a bit. At that point, I probably already been playing for 10, little over 10 years, but I never really learned much about the sport. But I remember a weekend. I don't remember whose idea it was, but you had told me Charles had recently got into playing it because he couldn't play ultimate frisbee anymore. So we decided we were going to take a road trip down to Houston, and that was probably one of the most fun nonstop one round after another like weekend warrior trip we've ever had.
96 holes
Yeah, and like
in
it's like
like 70,
2.5 days. Yeah.
like 68 to 70 hours, somewhere
Yeah.
in that range. It was pretty ridiculous.
Yep. We basically like we just stopped to like eat and sleep, and that was it. We're just like next, next, next.
Oh, and it was like 190 degrees outside
Mhm.
with 200% humidity the
Yep.
whole time.
And I
So,
remember we played Bandit, and that was in the morning, and
mm,
like within like before we even got through the first hole, like all of our shoes and
so,
socks were just completely soaked
so.
because the grass was super tall, the dew was still over everything, but I really like the concept of that course. I don't know if you guys play
Well,
in
that's,
Houston, need to look up
yeah,
Bandit. Was it Bandit Bayou? Is that what it's called?
yeah,
Or
yes,
Bayou
yeah,
Bandit, something like that.
yeah.
So basically, from what I understand,
The
like
pirate course.
just a bunch of people that just had their own baskets and they just set up a random course kind of in this like green belt between two subdivisions. It's not really supposed to be there, but nobody stopped them, so there's just a course there. But it's got some cool baskets. They got baskets and trees and stuff like that. So
Hanging like the
yeah,
one in your yard. There's one hanging, and
yeah, I love the
mm,
hanging baskets. I wish more courses did that, utilized it, because you got the sway with the wind and everything sometimes. Which, by the way, I will make my Ninjanuity plug here. Uh, if you get, just do what I did if you want a hanging basket. It's real simple. Okay. get
for
you
that.
a MVP black hole light. That's what basket I had, and I didn't even do it on purpose, but I had set it up regularly, and I had it set up in the backyard, and I had stakes staking down the base, and somebody was coming over. I think my dad was coming to visit, and he was going to park in the backyard, and it was like late at night, and he was supposed to be coming in, so I like ran in the backyard and pulled that out in the dark. Forgot that it was staked down. Just yanked on it and bent the base all up, so the base is kind of. I guess I probably could have tried to repair it, but I was like, you know what? This is a good excuse. Um, those black hole baskets are modular. You can just take them apart and put them back. Basically, I just assembled it upside down, and now the pole's coming out the top. And then I bought a turnbuckle. You just go to Home Depot or whatever and buy a cheap turnbuckle that fits in there, and now you got and basically it screws in, and the other side can screw into, or it's got like an eye bolt, and you can bolt that into whatever, and screwed that into the limb, and bada bing, bada boom, hang the basket. Anyway, but of course you got to have the right tree as well. That helps.
So having a strong enough branch would
Yeah,
be key.
I've had a lot of people say, "I wish I had a tree like that," and I'm like,
Mm.
I've people don't understand when I have 3/4 of an acre, and they think I'm exaggerating when I tell them I have like 50 trees on my property, and I've cut a lot of them. I've cut down, I think, 5 full trees since I've been here, something like that, and I'm constantly trimming them too. So there's a lot of trees on my property. So I had lots to choose from. Um, but yeah, that's probably the thing that from that point on, I think the three of us, at least me, you, and Charles, were pretty serious about learning more, getting better, and I don't know how long it was after that before we finally started doing competitions.
Well, as soon as I found out there was a PDGA,
I mean, I knew it was out there, but I
I
was like,
didn't.
I did,
I didn't.
I
I had
I
no
didn't know
idea.
that there
I
were
didn't.
amateur competitions. I just knew that there was a professional association, but I didn't know that there was amateur divisions to it. Once we found that out, I was like, oh, okay, sure, let's try it. The first one that we did was just a trilogy challenge, though, but that was still fun. I think I remember
Well,
Kyle
once it
went to that one.
started, I had like 80 tournaments in the first year, something
hmm
ridiculous,
I didn't
man.
get into it as quickly as you did, but I had fun with it. And I remember that would have been 2021, so I played a lot too, and that's when at the end of the I don't want to say end of the year, in September, it was close to the end of my competitive year because by the time November gets there, it starts getting cold, and I'm too skinny, so I don't play in the cold. Sometimes I do, but I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. Once I can't feel my fingers, I'm out, man. But anyway, we September is every year they have the McKinney Classic, and you had told us you're like, hey, there's like a 3-course tournament. It goes at
Mhm.
all 3 courses in McKinney, and it's going to be in September. I think we should all play it, and we'll just hang out at my house for the weekend. And we were like, down, let's do it. That was a
Like
good year
golf.
too, because I remember I think that's the year that we did all kinds of stuff that year. We had the shirts made and everything, and did a lot of stuff. But it was that weekend. Two awesome things happened. That's the my first and only ace. I aced during that tournament.
Yes. Hole 18, Alex Clark.
Yep. And what else did we do that weekend?
I don't know. Is that the same weekend? I mean, this is probably not what you're thinking, but is that the same weekend that Nick got his eagle?
Yes,
Right? Like,
it was basically like at the same round because we were all play. No, wait, no, he got because we didn't play.
we
Uh,
played Alex Clark last, right? That
yeah,
was like
well,
your
we
walk off,
didn't play
right?
Trinity in our division. So we played
We played
we started
Golds,
by playing
TL,
either
and
Town. I think we
Shorts.
played Town Lake first, and then Golds, or vice versa.
Mhm.
And then on the last day we played AC
Shorts.
Reds, and he
Yeah.
got his eagle on AC Gold because it was either a par 4 or 5
No, he got it at TL. I know what hole. It was hole 16.
at Town Lake.
Uh huh.
Oh, well then I
It
maybe
was
I'm
hole.
wrong. Maybe we did play
Yeah, it was
Trinity
hole
there.
16. He got his eagle hole
No, I
16 Town
I
Lake.
know that we didn't play Trinity that year though,
No,
because
no, no, no. We didn't. You were right.
yeah.
We played Town Lake.
Golds
golds, and then
and
AC
reds.
shorts, well
Yeah.
reds, right? And but he got his eagle at Town Lake on hole 16. That super long one. It's
Yeah.
like you start and you have to go right. It was the long position, and they had it as a par five, right?
Yeah. I like that one too, because that's
And
another good forehand
he
hole.
he
Or at least
basically
it's a good
threw it
forehand
in
off the tee hole.
from like 200 feet, right, on his third shot.
Yeah. That's
So.
awesome.
It
I've
was it was great, man.
I've had like lucky throw in birdies at tournaments like that, but I've
You had
never
a
had an eagle.
tournament ace. What are you talking about? What?
Yeah, but I mean I've never had I, an eagle on a 4 or 5. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah.
It's always an eagle when it's a par three ace, but yeah,
I have shot an eagle.
yeah,
So
I have, but
a
not in a
two on a
tournament.
four. I shot a two on a four. I threw in a two on a four, right?
So I have had an eagle on a par five that is played as a par three in tournaments though. I got it on my third shot and I'm like, yes, eagle, and everybody was like, that's just a par, bro. You just threw in 200 feet for par. That's a Ash or not Ash. That's at Arcadia. It's like the
Arcadia. I
first
knew which
one
one you're talking
that's
about.
a par
Yeah,
five. Like I'm
it
doing the
was like
quotations, but it's played as a three everywhere else on tournaments. And then the next one is also a par five, and that's one of the two par fours that they play in tournaments. Yeah,
that was that was my first tournament round. I remember it. I thought I was this, monster coming out to destroy these recreational guys. They don't know what's coming for them. I'm going to crush them. I know Arcadia. It's awesome. What did we not count in our fun rounds that I never understood was going to happen in tournament rounds, Jeff?
I don't know.
Out of bounds.
Oh yeah, yeah. We never play with out of bounds. We never play with Mandos. Yeah, don't worry about that kind of. That's
Fairway
nonsense.
lives. Let's go.
And
All
not to
right.
mention, like I
Uh,
said, if you play UDisc or tournament par ratings, it's like it's totally different. Like I said, Arcadia, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I can shoot 3-4 over at Arcadia. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I play like
Yeah.
it is a 60 instead of a 56.
Exactly. And so
Yeah,
I walk up in there, and on my very first tournament round, you can go on PDJ and you can see it. My first rated round ever, Arcadia was plus 20.
yeah. I mean, I still have rounds like that sometimes. I think every time I've played North Park in a tournament, I end up like somewhere between 12 and 17 over, and I can play that like 2 over on a fun round.
I played two over the other day. So,
Yeah, but you're better than me.
what?
He
They
is.
shortened it. North Park's not the same. It's
I
different.
haven't played it since they reopened it actually.
It's
They still
different.
got the
I
basket
mean,
in the tree, right?
no,
What?
it's kind of behind the tree now, not in it.
What?
I mean, it's still blocked by it. It's still like it's as close to without being in the tree because the tree itself is not the same.
It's just straight up
Like it got
un-American.
what?
Okay, but that's not what I was talking about, by the way. What else happened the McKinney Classic
Oh,
2021
sorry.
weekend? At
Well,
least I
yeah, that
think it was that weekend. It might have been another weekend. It might have been some other time, but I know
surprised me.
the
What
first
else?
time that we decided to dye discs,
Oh,
we were all at your house for a tournament. I don't know if it was McKinney Classic, but it was definitely like me, you, and Charles were all there.
it had to have been the
I
classic
think
then.
it was. And that's when we first
I
started
mean,
playing around
the
with
only
disc
other
dyeing.
one is the memorial, Alex Clark
That
Memorial,
could have been it too. I don't know. I
right?
just know
Because
it was something going on in McKinney.
mhm.
And we were all at your house. But yeah, and it was 2021. I know that because that's when we learned disc dyeing.
No, no. That sounds right in line with everything I spoke to my wife about. Stacy was very good in her memory, so I think you're nailing it.
How weird if you think back, how weird was it that I mean, to me it's always funny in my mind because it's like I didn't know anything about that. I didn't consider myself the least bit artistic. I didn't consider anything, and Stacy's the one that's like, I know how to make these stencils. I had to hand them to her. I was like, here, put this thing on there because I can't get it centered.
Well,
I can't do anything. I need you to do it for me, and I'll put it in the die when it's done. And within 3 or 4 weeks, I'm teaching you guys stuff because I just went into the YouTube hole and just started learning as much as I could.
well, I think even before that, she was just making uh, like putting stuff on my bag,
Hmm.
like vinyl, right, cuts and designs, and then she messed with some minis,
Yep. She made
right,
us all
and we
she
were
made us all minis with stickers on them. Yep.
yeah, minis with vinyl, right, on it. And that's when the idea formed, I think, about hey,
And I
let's
think that's what's
dye
funny
this.
because most people, when I talk to them about disc dyeing, other disc dyers, like how they got into it, I think we're one of the only people that right off the bat, for us, it was doing stencils. Everybody else starts with just
Same
experimental stuff,
thing. Yeah,
bed
like
dyes of some sort, and we're just like, I mean, we did do bed dyes, but we were doing it with stencils.
well, she had the cricket,
Yep.
and that was part of the reason why I had introduced it to
Yeah.
pull her create to pull to. So I was playing so much disc golf that it was taking time away from the family, and so I was trying to find a way to meld it to get her and us to have spend time together in this realm of disc golf, and dying disc seemed a natural progression. And it started that weekend, as you stated, and it morphed very quickly into something even bigger. Um, and you morphed it even more, right? Shortly thereafter,
It
as you
was
stated.
it was weird because I remember us having conversations like me, you, and Charles, as I was just kind of like, well, you guys are getting good and you're winning tournaments, Lone Star. Um, and you're out there winning tournaments and your ratings going up, and I'm staying. I hit my plateau, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get any better at disc golf. And at least in my mind, that's how I felt. I've definitely gotten better since those days, but I remember just telling y'all, I was like, this is my contribution. This is where I will shine. I will be the pro artist. So it turned out all
And you
right.
were, and you still were, you still are. This was a collaboration between Stacy and I early on,
Yep.
um, and
I think I did the
that was
stencil on that, but I let y'all do all the painting and spin dyeing and everything.
yes, sir.
Yep.
And then it hasn't seen sun, so it hasn't faded as much because it's been sitting inside the
I've
whole
mentioned
time.
that on some of my like my live stream where I'm doing disc dyeing. It's like, hey, if you want a disc dye to last forever, never throw it and keep it in the freezer. It's like, it'll never fade. Hey.
Otherwise, it's going to fade.
Yeah, it's like you can't stop the fade unless you keep it frozen, basically.
I mean, you can reapply, I guess, but
Yeah, but it still
it
it
depends
still
on
kind of
how
it still
intricate.
migrates.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm trying to I'm backwards in the camera. I'm trying to straighten my collar and I'm pulling at the wrong side. It messes with me. I'm like that guy. Hey, I did it right that time. Try to point to
Yeah,
you.
don't get me started on the whole mirror concept. I
Yeah.
mean,
Um.
like this is my left hand, really is.
Yep. Well, that's because you're on selfie view or whatever. Yeah. So
Correct.
his shirt, it's like yours is on your thing's on the. I can't even do that. Your Ninja logo's on the same side as mine, but well, I guess that's right. You're not reversed. Maybe you are. I can't remember. Is that on your left side? Yeah.
Correct.
So is mine. Okay. But it's on the right side in our view here. Well, it's on my
In,
right,
in the middle. Yeah.
so it would
Okay.
be there. It's my left there. Yeah. Anyway, this is what the audience cares about right here.
Yeah, with our shirts and what side they're on. Anyhow, dying disc, fun, awesome, great hobby.
Mhm.
Uh, Jeff excels at it because he has the patience, and that's really what it comes. I'll be
That's
honest, it's really what it
it.
comes down
Really,
to.
it is, and I have a
You
have a
need
ridic I
patience.
have a ridiculous compulsion for perfection. Like I don't want that to that might be the wrong way to phrase it, but and I don't want to say OCD because OCD is literally it's obsessive compulsive
A disorder.
disorder. It's
Yeah,
not
it's a
natural. It's not
disorder.
right. Mine's not that bad, but I mean, I am I tell people all the time it's like, what I do for a living is I'm a CAD designer, and literally I've had conversations with people at work where I have to ask them a bunch of questions, like the sales reps and stuff, and they're like, dude, you're so OCD, like you really have to worry about this. I'm like, it's literally my job. My job is to literally sweat the details. Like I need to know where every bolt goes. I have to tell the shop exactly. Like, yeah, I may be driving you crazy, but this is what matters. And when I applied that to disc dying, when it's just like break down the steps and do everything perfectly, that's what it is. I don't think of myself as an artist as much as like a technician, I guess, because everything's a technique. You learn how to do the technique good, I guess, and then it becomes art when you put it all together. I
I
don't know.
mean, wouldn't art be subjective, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
In that regard, so make it it's art. It the we can argue the quality of it, right, differently, but
Yeah.
it's art, brother. It's art. Whether it's functional art or not, you know what I mean? I
It
don't care.
just,
It's
I
still
guess it's
art.
just because of the way I think about it in my brain, because that's why I never consider myself an artist. Because if you just handed me a paintbrush or a pencil or something and said make this something lifelike, I'd be like, nah, I ain't doing that. I can't do that. Or if you said here's a guitar, I'd be like, cool, I'll smash it.
It's
At
still the
church,
art.
I constantly make jokes at church all the time because like I have no musical talent, but I'm like, can I please have a tambourine? Like, I, I can wail on a tambourine. Come on,
Maybe a cowbell.
more cowbell. There we go. It's funny too because I don't understand music lingo. Like they'll always be like, do we need to try that in a different key? And I'm like, you keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it
What
means.
is
I'm like, what is
yeah,
this
dude.
key you speak of? And yet I run the soundboard half the time, and I don't. I just turn things up when they're too loud, or turn things up when they're not loud enough, down when they're too loud. Try to stop the feedback. Ah.
I don't even think autotune could save me.
Oh, right,
So
same here. So, disc dying, it's fun. It definitely led to a lot. I think
yes.
I talked about a lot of this in my last podcast, and I think in my mind, this is what I always wanted when I started the business between the two of us. Like I wanted to be the behind the scenes guy. Yeah, Ninja Disc Golf. We both wear our Ninja Disc Golf t-shirts today, or not, or polos, whatever. Um, I wanted to be like the behind the scenes guy. I'm like, I want to just like run the website, do the disc dies, do all that stuff, and I'm like, you be the marketing person, you be the mouth. But I don't know if that ever really worked out. But I always make jokes like Troy's the world's best hype man.
So I'm a very positive person for
Hmm.
sure, and definitely positive about other people right around me at any time. So yeah, I can. I thank you. Right. I accept the hype man uh, moniker. Right. So
Not to mention he's like I'm he's being kind of modest. Like we used to be kind of on par with each other, but he is far and away better at disc golf than I am. And hey, it used to be equal. It's not anymore. But that was part of it too. I was like, if you go out, you win tournaments, you be the guy that's doing all the awesome side of the competitions and everything, and I'll make pretty plastic.
pretty plastic.
Yep,
You throw it right.
yep. And that was kind of where we were going and everything. And
Yeah. We were
honestly,
doing that.
I don't have a great reason for why we stopped because a lot of people ask me sometimes. I don't know. It was getting overwhelming for me because when I first started it, I was single. I was working from home 100%, and I had lots of free time. And I had,
Hmm.
since then, I am now married. I have a baby on the way. I am very involved with my church. I'm there at least 3 services a week, sometimes 4 or 5. So yeah, I just don't have time like I used to try to run the business. And a lot of people like there were times when it was slow, but I have this like little whiteboard above my head on the wall, and that's left over from like that would be my running schedule. Like these are all the dies I get to get done. It was literally like finish my day job, immediately start back into my disc dies, and it's just like a constant rotating schedule where I never got time to breathe. And not to mention you have the
That was
pressure.
very different for me because I had just this family life happening, right?
Hmm.
I had this, wife and child and home,
And we weren't really
house,
making
and
money on it. It was, I think it was more
well,
we just wanted our names. You know, we wanted to be important to the
wanted
disc golf
trying to
community.
create something and do something, really,
Yeah,
is what I thought,
we
right? I
were.
was just wanting to, do, see what I mean? You're trying to have a purpose, and, that
Yep.
at that point, that purpose was disc golf and anything disc golf related, right?
Well, for me too, it
So,
was I had an idea in my head that this was I was gonna make it something that could sustain me, that I wouldn't have to work a corporate
mm,
job anymore. And part of that was just depression, just not happy. And I gave my life to Jesus, and that all went away. So best thing I ever
amen.
did, man.
Amen. It was part of my journey.
Um,
Continues to be, you know?
I still have some other notes written here. I'm trying to think about what else we want to talk about. Here's one.
Oh,
Tell me
okay.
if what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything is 42.
So that's Troy loves the movie and the book Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, of course, and it was always like this running joke, and I'm sure other people know that joke well. And we did it. We did it. That was one of his first disc dies. He had to do a
Yeah,
42 disc,
I
and
did.
but it became
That
a
was
thing
fun.
where me and him had this thing that we would talk about. And he, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but he was telling me, I was coming up to on my 42nd birthday, not far from it, and he was telling me that 42 was the answer to his life. I'll let him say why.
So, multiple reasons. The number one reason, right, at 42 was a life changing event. I had my first and only child, Riley, right, when I was 42. Crazy, right? But that was a very big, life changing experience for me. And she was actually born at 3:42 in the morning. So,
I
yeah.
didn't even know that part. That's awesome.
hmm I have a picture of it on the wall of the moment she was born, so to speak. She was born through C-section,
Hmm.
so I was kicked out. I was in the hallway, but the moment I heard her, I took a selfie at
Nice.
3:42 a.m. on 3/9. Yeah,
Yeah, and she's March 9th, and my baby is due March 19th. So
it's gonna be
there's a
close.
chance. There's a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Gonna be close.
yep. And no, for the audience, I cannot tell you if it's going to be a boy or a girl. We haven't figured that out yet. That'll be about another month. We're going to have the sonogram that should tell us that. We could have paid for like a test, genetic test that would have told
The
us
early
earlier
one, the
on, but
early test.
it's
Yeah,
expensive, and
yeah,
I
they
can be
don't.
patient. It's okay.
Yeah, we can go
Um,
old fashioned. Just wait,
I know. Like my
to the
parents
very
didn't know
end.
until wah.
Yeah. To the very end, right?
And for me, my 42 story, because it's funny because
Oh,
he
yes.
kept telling me, he's like, well, maybe you'll find the answer to your life when you turn 42. And I talked about this a little bit in my last session when I just kind of talked about my own life. My first wife, we got divorced, but then not long after that, she was in a fatal car accident, which was heartbreaking and took me years to get over. But went through just a lot of depression, a lot of soul searching, and I basically started this business because I just wanted some kind of purpose for my life because I was just miserable from all of that happening. And at the age of 42 is and I don't remember, it's August, is either August or September of 2023, and that's when I first kind of got the calling from God to start reading the Bible, start praying, start just repenting and changing the way I live and everything. And it didn't take long before Prayers were answered. I told him one of the first things I prayed about was like I'm really unhappy with my job, and within like 3 days, someone called me with a job offer and ended up changing jobs. I didn't end up staying with that job. I worked there I think 8 months and then went somewhere else. I'm back at the place I've been for many years. If I would have never left, I'd be there 17 years now, but my tenure has been broken a few times along the way. But
Still amazing.
I'm much happier now back with where I'm at now with the company than where I was before. And of course, I don't really blame that on the company or anything. A lot of that's just, like I said, it's me. There's an unbalance in my own life that there was nothing I was going to do that was going to fill that void. Yeah, you'll hear the term like we all have a God-sized void inside of us, and there's only one thing that's going to fill it. If you don't have spiritual health, then you're always going to be searching for something. That could be for another podcast, but yeah. But
The search.
all that happened at 42. Like I said, that first was the job, then I started praying for, you know, I think I prayed for a community, like a something that felt like a family, and then the church became very much a family to me, and in more ways than one, they literally became my family later because I prayed for another chance at love, met Sarah, and we just hit it off. And I mean, cannot explain to you like when I first met Sarah and the first time I introduced Troy and Stacy to them, they were like, "Yeah, Jeff, this is the girl for you. Like y'all are so in sync." Because first time we went out, she's quoting like Lord of the Rings and Princess Bride, and I'm like, "Yes, this is the one." But so that's
Like
why
well,
42 for us is the answer to everything.
and it leads to the next, right? To the ultimate question,
Hmm.
right? So you have to now go figure out what the ultimate question is. It's different for everyone. So go figure out yours.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, what I would tell everybody is, you know, God is for everybody. He's not. You don't have to fix yourself before you come to God. Go to God, and then He will walk you through what you need to go through to be at peace and to find your calling. Because everybody, I feel like so many people do that. They're like, well, I cuss too much, or I do drugs, or I drink too much, or whatever the case may be, and I got to fix that before I come to God because I'm not worthy. And I'm like, dude, none of us are worthy. He's God. He's the all-powerful creator of the universe. You're not gonna be worthy, but He loves you. If you just come to Him, He'll guide you the rest of the way. But yeah. The
I'm
next.
agreeing. I'm agreeing with you 100%. Find your way, build your relationship. Don't wait, right?
Hmm.
You know, dive in there. Um, get dirty with God, right? He'll help you wash it clean.
Yep, exactly. And what I would tell everybody too is that I thought, and I grew up in the church before my parents got divorced. My dad helped found a church. He was one of the elders of the church, so I grew up like the church being like my second home. But my parents split up when I was 12, and after that point, I my dad worked two jobs, and we just, he didn't have the ability to keep us in church. My mom was kind of out of the picture for a long time, and it wasn't part of my life for a long time. But because I grew up in the church, I just thought like I know the Bible, I know what it's about, I get it, I don't need to read it. When I actually finally like picked up the Bible and started reading it, you start to all everything starts to come together. Because so what I would tell everybody is like whatever you think you're like I know what that book's about, just read it. It's like if I were to criticize, uh, this came up with some guy at work. I'm like, hey man, Lord of the Rings, great story, right? He's like, oh yeah, I love it. I was like, great movie, right? Oh yeah, it's a great movie. So what do you think about Tom Bombadil? And they're like, who's Tom Bombadil? And it's like, well yeah, if you're basing your knowledge of Lord of the Rings on the movie, they leave out a major character. And the same thing with the Bible. If you're basing what you know just on what's told to you or what's presented in a movie or something, then go read it for yourself. You can't speak intelligently on something that you're naive about, and there's nothing wrong with being naive about it, but don't go around acting like you know it all.
I don't think that message you just shared right now is number one, great. It's an amazing message, right? Read the Bible.
Yeah,
And on top of that, the second part of that is be informed about what you want to speak about or
yeah.
what you feel you will come into connection to speak about,
And it doesn't stop with the
right?
Bible. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, that's what I'm
one of the
saying. Like if you want to learn something about what I don't know, whatever, go learn it, go
there's
read it,
a
and don't read one side. Read everything you can get
yeah
on it. Just
there's
be
a
like a ravenous.
there's a great clip that from one of Charlie Kirk's things where he was doing one of the college talks that he did or whatever, and the kid comes up and
Comic books.
he's like, yeah, you already know what I'm saying. Kid comes up and he's like, how can I be a better at debating? And he's like, debate less, read more. You want to read at least 100 books a year.
Hundred
He's like,
books.
read as much as you can. Just keep intaking that information. You want knowledge, seek it. You know, it's not gonna come to you. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna turn my fan on. It's getting hot in this
I
room.
love it. I love it. I love it. It's the search. Like I said, that should be the next one called the search, right? What do you
Yeah,
want? It's like search for knowledge, search for God, search for peace, search the search, right? They one of my favorite sayings from this book series that I read with Charles is it's not the destination, it's the journey,
right.
right?
Amen.
It's yeah, I mean the destination is important, right? But it's you learn way more on the way there.
Yeah. Um, trying to see what other topics I had written down. I'm just gonna ask this as a question.
Father,
Okay.
I am your father.
Yeah, that's what it's about. So, I'm about to be a dad for the first time. At 44 years old, I got you beat.
Yeah, you did. Congratulations.
But
It's good that you beat me at something, these days.
hey, hey. Uh, but
Too soon. Too soon.
hey, I almost like there was one time I beat you and Charles both at Alex Clark. I went like 7 under. One time is that one. I'm like it's like that little Giants, but there's one time. uh, what advice do you have for the future dad?
For a new dad, is
Well,
what you're
me
saying?
specifically, but yeah, any dad, any future dad, soon to be dad.
Wow, that's a good one. Um, what advice do I have for fathers and there's any fathers? Patience. Yeah.
Yeah,
Buckets and buckets and more buckets and it's a couple more of patience is what I suggest you start farming and be ready for. It's going to take a lot.
yeah,
Uh, there, what I've learned the most is that they learn from what's around them, right? What they're exposed to, number one, and they like to emulate, right? Those that they love and care for or have interest in, right? Friends, family members, whatever that may be. And so there's going to be times where you're trying to get these points across or lessons learned, and it's going to take patience. If you lead with frustration and anger or any of those negative type of emotions, that's all that they're going to understand.
right. Yeah,
So if you lead with the gratitude and the patience and the understanding, they're more likely to get to where you're trying to get them to be. You know.
good message.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna share my screen. I know he's on the screen already, but I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
share.
can't wait to see it. Let's see what you're sharing.
You
Oh,
can't
that's
see
right.
anything, but I am going to share something that uh just kind of goes along with this. Something I looked up earlier. Well, I say that
Okay.
you're gonna see my Facebook page first. It looks like, but let's see. I gotta get this in front of my face. Let's see. There we go. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of your house and on your gates. So that's one of the things I want to share. And this kind of just goes with what we're talking about. It's not what he's saying about patience. Definitely, like, 100% agree and just hope that I can be like that. But also, what he's saying as far as your kids are like sponges, they're gonna see everything that you do, and if you are talking about God and talking about how to live a righteous life every day, if this becomes part of your life. Like I said before, worship isn't just about what you do on Sunday. Worship is how you live your life every day. Set the example and be the fountain that sponge soaks up. Let them learn from your example. And one more verse I want to share. This is Exodus chapter 20. These are the 10 commandments, and I just want to point something out. This is one that everybody kind of knows. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land your Lord God is giving you. It's the only commandment that comes with a blessing. They all give you a command, and some of them offer an explanation. But this is the only one that says, if you follow it, you may live long in the land your God is giving you. And what that comes down to, the way I think about that is, I'm trying to kind of put that into words. Gotta find Troy again. Where'd you go? There he is. Okay. Um, he's like, I'm right here, man. So when I think about that, I think about when in Genesis when it says that, and it's not just in Genesis, but throughout the Bible when it talks about God creating us in His image. I mean, every parent is the image of God for their children, and if your children, at you know, you're commanded in that Deuteronomy verse to be the example of God for your children, to share His commands and to share the Word of God with them and be a godly example, a righteous example for them. They're in turn, they need to know these commands and they need to know that they need to honor their mother and father. And when I think about the way our nation, our world is right now, all the turmoil and all the division and everything, think about where we would be if we were still a Christian nation. And what I mean by that is, even if you disagree about politics or whatever the case may be, about whether or not we should be helping Ukraine or Israel or some country in Africa or whatever, there was a time in our country that whatever those things may be, we had united agreement on, well, this is the moral standard that's laid out in the Bible. That's what our country was founded on. And regardless of whether or not we let other people practice whatever religions they are, that's fine, and that's the Christian way. We don't force anybody to conform to us. But at the same time, when you allow like secularism and basically people to do whatever they want to and just throw God away, then you get this division because you lose the thing that's unifying people. So how have we stopped honoring our mother and father, and how has it not gone well for us in the land He's given us? Something to think
Okay.
about,
Yeah.
something to chew on. Okay. Um,
I mean, there's actually you can go. I just to throw a little tidbit onto that. There's statistics behind that, right? Like quite literally, like homes with fathers are far better than homes without.
yeah.
Look it up.
Yep.
I promise you'll find out that right
And that
children raised in a house with the father and
that's
a
just
mother,
a
right,
that's also
is
just a couple of commandments underneath that. Thou shalt not commit adultery. So if the family stays together, if you honor your spouse, it goes better for everybody.
everybody seems
The
to
nuclear
succeed, right?
family is the first thing God established. The marriage
So,
was the very first thing He did. He's like, Adam, you need a companion. Bam, here you go. Stay together. Be fruitful and multiply. There you go. Things will go well for you. The further we get from that, it's just discord. It's not harmony, you know. Um, so we got a few minutes left. This is something I wrote down, and I was just wondering what you think about it. This is episode 3. I've already got some things planned, and honestly, when I started this, I want disc golf to be involved with it because that's how I got my fan base to begin with, and I think a lot of people, if I just totally abandon disc golf and do a strictly like a ministry thing, then people are gonna be like, bruh, what the heck? But ministry is my focus. Really, I have a lot of things I want to share. So I guess what I'm looking for you as, is there any topics, anything that you'd like me to talk about, any kind of guest stars you'd like me to see? Just what would you like to see from this thing, I guess?
Okay. Well, I mean, do you want like? Well, see, there's a good. That's a tough question because it's a two-sided coin, right? I want to mix in something, disc golfy,
Yeah,
right? As well as somehow, spread and share the message, right? Which is the whole purpose,
right.
right? Is to share the message and still, have some fun while we're doing it here.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Uh, we got some local pros that what I mean. I could maybe reach out to, like I don't know if you'd be interested. Maybe if Nolan
Nolan
Grider.
Grider.
You know what I mean? The Texas Tornado.
If
I
if
mean,
if any of them are willing to do it, yeah.
yeah.
The one thing I would
That'd
say
be
is
really
just make
pretty
sure they
cool
know
for
that we're going to
me.
talk about Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's I know him personally. I don't.
Okay.
There's definitely that's why I'm saying this, right? I have like that would be interesting, I think, and or that's the first thing I would think of, like local. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and our
DFW.
buddy our buddy Josh texted me earlier, and he talked about how much he enjoyed the first episode, and he was talking about he might want to do something at some time, and I think it'd be good for us to we won't be able to do an 8 o'clock live stream of us playing disc golf because it's dark out there, but we could go record some stuff out on a course and then we could air it during the live stream or whatever. That's something I thought about doing too.
That wouldn't be bad to add like maybe a like a section of clips. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Mhm.
So like you've got I don't know 30 seconds to a minute worth of what I mean 10-second clips of something you can watch and then comment on, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, some interactivity. You could even do common tournaments or something, right? You know what I mean? Or big pros swings. Here, this is Gannon's freaking awesome sidearm or whatever.
That guy's a
It's scary. His arm is like broken.
he's
It's
he's gonna be he's what is he 19, 20 right now?
so young.
I
He's
remember
so
we
young.
we first saw him appear on the scene when he was 16. That's the first time I
Oh.
saw him, and he won the. I've only been to one DGPT event, and that was the Open at Austin, and he won that. So I mean, the kid is amazing. Best disc golfer in
Yeah,
the world, and he's still got he's not even in his prime yet.
I started too late.
Yeah,
That's
we
my
all did. Yeah.
excuse. That's my excuse.
I
I
was almost
started.
I was almost 30 when I first started playing disc golf. Some of these kids have been
Well,
playing since they were 5 years old.
I was like 40ish when I started.
Yeah.
So
And I still don't even I
when I
still barely have I don't even really have much of a functional backhand yet.
I don't have much of a functional forehand.
Your forehand is way better than my backhand.
I'm
Now,
working on it
actually my
though.
backhand has gotten way better and it's way more accurate, but the distance on it just I think my max distance on a backhand right now is about 130. So I don't think I could break 200 feet. It's sad.
Bro, I made that cheat though. I created that backhand turnover shot. Now I can throw 300 feet
Well,
still, like turn it over left to right.
that's
Just
what I do too. I just do my cheater Anheuser forehand thing. Just get a neutral to understable disc and make it work. Yep. Of course, I mean the one that we've talked about this before. When I'm playing in a tournament, if I've got something that gradually turns left, I can do that anhyzer. If it turns left early, whatever. But if it's a straightaway with a hook left at the end, I don't have a throw for that. The best thing I can do is just try to throw something straight down the middle, mid range or something, and then dog leg it after that. You know.
That's so. I've trusted in my old man noodle arm,
Yep.
and I'm throwing the Lone Star Tex right
Hey, I
6
I play
p.m.
against people all the time that they can throw 400 feet, but they can't make a 10-foot putt. So you know, it's like at least I can putt. I don't know. All right. Well, we're at 9 o'clock.
Is it been an hour already?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Where'd the
Um,
time go?
but yeah, we'll maybe this was fun. We'll see if we can do something again with a theme. God bless America. Um, we'll figure out a different theme for next time if we decide to have Troy back, which I'm sure we will. It's an actual functional nutcracker too. Look at that. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
come with props and
he comes with
hats.
props. He got a lightsaber in
Yeah,
the
I got.
background too.
I,
I was telling him when we were getting ready for it, he was like, "I'm kind of worried that." I was like, you got a better backdrop than I do. I just have chaos back there. It is so messy. Cause this is my home like this keyboard here. This is for the other computer that I do my day job on. Then I got this keyboard for this one, and then I have disk dying and all sorts of random chaos back there, and it's just a mess. Not to mention we have this is like our storage room too, so we have the stroller and there's a
oh,
bassinet and
I know
playpen
the
and
room. I'm picturing it in my head right now. It used to hold copious amounts of
oh
discs
yeah,
and
it used to be
boxes.
the walls used to be covered with discs at one time. I
Mhm.
still have a
And the
few. I got
floors
I got
and
like three up there, which there they are. I got three up there, and then I got a couple up here, and then I have the Mama Bee, Papa Bee, Baby Bee over the door frame. But it used to have, I don't even know. I probably had 50 discs on the wall. I don't know. It's just what I did.
well,
There's still lots of discs in this room. They're all under the table, and then I have a disc rack thing over here. What was that?
a
Flashing
box
stuff.
full of discs.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just showing.
yeah. Was that a horny toad? That's what it looked like.
It might have been. Yeah.
Yep. I play disc golf too much. I caught a glimpse of a stamp, and I knew what it was immediately. Especially like when it comes to Lone Star discs. Yeah, I'm like, man, that's what it is. Of course, since I haven't been sponsored for a couple of years, I don't know them as well. I think mine says Lone Star Disc on the back too. Yeah, it does. I'm not sponsored anymore. He still is. I'm not even in the PDGA this year. This is my first year since 2021 that I haven't been in the PDGA. I haven't played any tournaments.
Boo.
I haven't even played any
Boo.
leagues. I just play for fun. Hey,
Boo.
it's still
I
fun.
played I played Ledgestone this year.
He
Oh,
did. It was awesome.
and I did not play well.
Hey, I'm still mad at Charles. He ate like I dyed him one of the most beautiful disc dyes I've ever done, and he loved it, and he aced with it while we were all playing together. Was that at Stonebridge? I think it was Stonebridge.
I
And
saw it with my own
and
eyes.
then like a week later, he goes to Ledgestone and throws it in the water. Like,
Was it?
bruh. I was like, you aced with it. Put it on your wall. Of course, I guess if you ace with a disc, you should keep throwing it because technically you're really good at throwing it.
You're really good with the disc, right? Come on, man.
I have not thrown that volt since I aced with it. That's all I know. It's staying up there. That's my first ace. I'm not ever gonna throw that one
Bro,
again. I have
I
another bolt
framed
though.
my first ace. I don't know where it's. I think it's out in the garage. I framed it. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
All right, man. We could keep talking. We'll continue it some other time. But it's been fun. It was good to have a guest for a change and not just me doing a soliloquy into the void.
I enjoyed it. I
I
enjoyed it. I'm
did.
telling you, bring have some clips of something,
Yeah.
right? Right. And
Yeah.
I think that might add a little twist to part of this.
For sure. All right. Until next time, where disc golf meets discipleship. May your hyzers bring you hallelujahs. where faith meets frisbees. I'm working on more catchphrases.
They were all great. I loved every one of them, so
All
they were
right.
great.
God bless you. Take care. See you next time.
Love you, Jeff. Peace, brother. Say hi to the wife.
I will. Say hi to your wife too, and the little girl. Love you guys.